Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode in this series of the JJSports podcast. I'm Josh K.
Joey B.
Sammy M.
And tonight, I think that we're going to keep it to the same order of sports topics we picked last time in that order. I'm not going to give you spoiler down the road, but we'll start it off with NBA. Game 4 just happened last night between the Lakers and the Heat. And I think that all of a sudden, this series is going to be a lot closer after witnessing the first 4 games than people probably thought. I know that I said the Heat are going to win. I just want to address this. I know I said last episode I thought the Heat were going to win this series in 6 games, and I'm not going to stay with that pick anymore. I think the Lakers are going to win it in 6 at this point. But I do have to give the Heat credit, okay, for what they're fighting with. They had no Bam Adebayo for a good portion of the first couple games. No Goran Dragic, pretty much just Jimmy Butler, and even he was injured for a portion of the first part of the series. And then after playing game 2 without those two players in Dragic and Adebayo, two of their supposed best on that team, all they did was fight hard and prove to the Lakers that even without those two players, and even before that, had they all been healthy, that they were not going to be a walk in the park to deal with. And I think that the Lakers kind of took it almost for granted going into game 3 after they won. They just assumed it would all be fine. They have LeBron, they've got Davis, Howard, Rondo, as old as some of those guys are, they're still producing. And when Jimmy Butler put up 40 plus points in that game 3, he basically single-handedly, at least in my opinion, beat the Lakers that game. He was the heart and soul of that team. And I found something out. He is now one of 3 players in NBA history to not only put up 40 points. The stat was one of 3 players in NBA history. And I think the other 2 are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I think Shaquille O'Neal might be the other one. I'm not 100% sure. To put up 40-plus points in a game and not take a 3-point shot either, which is crazy if you ask me. And I think that game 3 almost is what saved the Heat a little bit of time because they're still playing without Dragic. However, Adebayo came back in game 4, and despite the Heat still losing, they fought him hard. And that's still without Dragic, who's been one of their best postseason performers up until the injury. So I'm going to change my prediction. I think that the Lakers are now going to take it in 6 games, but I don't think it's going to be close. I'll give you that. I think the Heat get at least one more win out of this. We know game 5 is Friday night, and that's my thought on it now. Joey, Sammy, I'm going to open the floor up to you guys. What do you guys have? Have you changed your predictions? What do you think of the series so far?
Well, I'm just going to say, to remind everybody, my prediction was I wanted the Heat, but I took the Lakers in 6 or 7. I'm going to change my prediction to Lakers in 5. And here's why. After last game, the Heat had the lead for I think the first quarter and a half of the game. And they held their own, and then they just and then they slowly but surely, and then it just slowly but surely withered away. And I think if they continued to do what they did in game 4, in the words of Paul Pierce, when referring to the Celtics and the Bucks, I don't know where the Heat go from here. I don't know how the Heat, I don't know how the Heat could go any further like this. In the way I see it, I think the finals is over. And I think the Heat have a lot of promise. I think the Heat will be back next year in the finals. But as long as Dragic, Dragic is injured, and also we have to remember that Bam got a little bit shaken up on a collision with LeBron in Game 4. I don't quite remember how far into the game it was, but he was very slow to get up. So they're going to be very cautious with playing Bam for Game 5. I would love to see a comeback for the Heat. I don't see it happening. I want it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, it's no secret I'm rooting for the Lakers. And
of course. I also want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
I said before that you've got that this is Shaq, Kobe and Shaq part 2. This is the second coming of the Kobe and Shaq, LeBron and Davis. Because as games as 3 out of 4 of the last games proved, if you guard one, the other is wide open. The other will just come crashing down right through the ceiling.
I mean, maybe it's the third coming of Magic and Kareem, or it's the fourth
that
coming
too.
of Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain.
And Wilt Chamberlain. Regardless. By the way, oh wow, the Lakers have had a lot of sick duos.
Yeah. You remember that stat Josh talked about like 2 minutes ago? You notice anything interesting about all those players you mentioned?
2 of those players
They
are
all
Lakers
play on
players.
the freaking Lakers. That's crazy.
I could be wrong. I know Abdul-Jabbar was one. I don't remember if Shaq was for sure the second.
You probably it probably was.
Yeah,
Regardless, also we saw the thing about the Lakers is now officially. I said the Heat that we said with the Heat last time that they have a star player in Jimmy Butler, but what makes them good is that what makes them good is that they're all basically just a team of siblings. They work so well together. Their chemistry is off the charts. But the Lakers are starting to show that as well. Like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Rajon Rondo, Markieff Morris. So these guys, who we normally wouldn't say would quote Dwight Howard, who we normally would not say would quote unquote pop off. They've been holding their own pretty well, and that's what's been boosting the Lakers.
But yeah, it's no secret I was rooting for the Lakers. But I said the Lakers in 6, and I'm gonna have to change it to Lakers in 5, only because like we're not playing the Heat. We're playing the Heat -2. Like we're not playing Dragic, who's a huge part of that team. We're playing a banged up Bam. Like we're not playing them at their fullest. I think if
Bam got bammed.
He got banged, bro. Boom, bang, boom, bam, or something. I don't know. But you know what's funny, Sammy? It's just like the Lakers fans are sometimes just kind of toxic because they literally cyberbully Kentavious Caldwell-Pope into having a crazy game. Like they were like, "Yo, we got 2 Danny Greens, 2 Paul Georges on this team," and they're like, and KCP is like, "Nope, I can play. Don't worry." So like I was pretty impressed. Like, isn't he their point guard? Like Caldwell-Pope? That's crazy. To be a starting point guard in the NBA is probably one of the most pressuring jobs in the freaking league, and this guy's playing on the Lakers in the championship.
Being overshadowed by guys like Davis and LeBron, don't forget.
Yes, also.
Yeah, he's playing with 2 of the top 5 players in the league. Like, that's crazy.
Let's take a moment to I know we're talking about finals exclusively here, but being that the season is close to coming to an end, let's take a look at some of the. Let's talk about who do we think is leaving for the big city, is leaving for a bigger city. Who's the next big player who's leaving for a bigger city?
Not this year, but I think Giannis leaves when he's a free agent.
I do agree. I do think that Giannis will end up, unless Giannis essentially praises his loyalty to Milwaukee. I don't think he's going to be there for much longer.
The only person he had loyalty to was Jason Kidd, and they fired his ass. So, he's not. The only way he stays is if they make a big push next year in the playoffs. Because they lost in the second round. They didn't even make the conference finals this year. That's crazy.
Giannis, I don't disagree that Giannis has the chance. Giannis is not only one of the greatest players of the decade, but
yeah, he's pretty good.
If he continues, if he wins a couple more MVPs, I will put him up there I will put him up there in my top 10.
No, I think he's a top 10. Like, I just don't know if he's top 5. That's all.
I genuinely believe that if he might.
I think he just makes he's 6 or 7.
Where would he go is the question. I'm not sure.
Well, obviously, I'm a Knicks fan, so I want him to go to New York. But if I'm being real, he's going to Miami.
My thoughts exactly. Miami is exactly where I was going to think.
Like, they have the team already, and he can fit on that team.
The only thing I will say is that
or Golden State. Maybe he'll go to
Golden State, there's no chance
How do you know?
because KD is not there.
So what?
KD's not there, and
Be the perfect replacement for what was
Clay's
just
injured.
a 1 year
Great
drought
replacement for
without him.
losing KD and
and the Splash Brothers are injured.
yeah, but next year if they're healthy, it's going to be amazing. They're going to have the Splash Brothers.
If they're healthy, they could easily be a conference final
They're
team.
going to be back in the finals again if
least.
they're healthy. If they're fully healthy, they're back in the finals again. I'm not even kidding. Maybe conference depending on who like seeding and stuff with the Lakers. But like yeah, they're back.
The
Like,
only
they're not-
reason why I would say that he's not going to go to the Heat, or not that the Heat won't pursue him, is because Bam.
Yeah, but
The Heat will what the
Giannis
Heat
like
might
LeBron.
do. What the Heat might do is that the Heat might again take the Giannis route on Bam, have Bam, bulk up, build up some muscle, and then make their own Giannis. Like, of course, it's not going to be the same. Not going to be the same result. Not going to yield the same result by any means. But with quite a bit of training, they might still go after Giannis because 2 is better than 1. But I'm saying there's a chance there. While I do agree that is probably the biggest possibility where he's going to go. I'm not so sure. It's not a definite. It's not a definitive. It's not a definitive answer.
I'm just saying that like I love Bam, but it's Giannis. Also, but let's just say he doesn't play. He can play any position, just like LeBron. He doesn't have to be the center. He can play anywhere. Why does he have to replace Bam? I would rather him replace Jay Crowder or Iguodala because I like them, but they're old.
Also, where are his brothers?
I think one of them's on the Bucks.
Thanasis, I believe, is on the Bucks.
And what's the other guy named
Costas.
Yeah, I don't know where. I think he's on the Lakers. I think he's on the Lakers.
He might be on the Lakers,
Oh,
but that's why I was gonna say.
Oh my God!
He might convince.
If
he can convince Thanasis, he and Thanasis might try to leave and go to LA.
There's no way. First of all, there's no way LA's gonna try to get Thanasis because he's not. He's not.
To follow up also on what you both said, well, kind of like off, but within the same topic. Well, I'm not necessarily going to believe it's on the player who leaves, right, or comes to a new team, right, leaving his old team, for whether it's for the money or because he wants a better spotlight, team wise. I do think, okay, and I'll give you this, that in my opinion, the Nets are a team to look out for next year. You get Kyrie and KD back, and right there, because every team that has made it to the finals over the last couple years has had that 1-2 punch that's been unstoppable. Last year it was Curry and Thompson, and Thompson was more filled in, over the postseason because Durant was hurt. But on the Raptors side, you had Kawhi with Ibaka or Kawhi with Danny Green, who played incredible down the stretch. You also had guys like LeBron and Kyrie, back for those numerous years. You had before Durant came to Golden State, it was Klay Thompson and Curry, and like that. I mean, like, I know it's kind of crazy, but the reason I can't think past much more than that is because that was like the same result for like 4 or 5 years in a row. We either saw Durant, Curry, and Thompson, or we saw LeBron and Kyrie, or we saw like Kawhi Leonard.
But
this
isn't
duo punch. This year you've got Davis and LeBron, and you've got that triple duo. I guess.
Josh, you're forgetting something.
This isn't the same Kyrie and KD.
This is not
years past.
Kyrie got nuts, and KD got the worst injury by far any athlete can sustain. Everyone thinks it's ACL. No, you can come back from an ACL usually. Achilles is a killer.
Achilles tear. It is in the name. Achilles tear is a killer.
It's a killer. Like, there's a reason why it's named after the freaking Greek god, because he was unstoppable except for that one area. Like, the dude, you get hit there, you're done. You usually do not come back from that. It's not a thing.
That's a very big if. if for them coming back, because
Like I'm not putting anything on the Nets, and you have to remember they don't really have the best supporting cast compared to other teams, and they have a coach who might like we don't know, but he
Steve
probably
Nash
sucks.
can take them places, but as far as I'm
I like Steve
concerned,
Nash as a player, but you might suck. Like you don't understand. The dude's never coached ever anywhere, like ever.
Steve
Like,
Kerr hadn't coached before the Warriors. I don't believe he was an
Yeah, but you
analyst,
can't
but
just
he was an
pull out a guy
announcer.
from the broadcast booth and expect him to be the best. Like you can't just assume that. You have to know that he can do it. Like
You
maybe
can
he'll turn
assume
it
that,
on.
but every once in a while, you get someone like Steve Kerr who ends up winning 3 titles for a
But they
team.
had Kenny Atkinson. Why would they fire him for who was Kenny Atkinson so much experience? Why would they get him fired for Steve Nash? I just don't get it. Because they're gonna make him a puppet. They're gonna tell him what to say. He's not gonna be their coach. Like they literally said.
He's going to be like Elton Brand on the.
Oh no!
the
Don't talk
Sixers.
about the process in this.
I'm not talking about the process. I'm just saying it like it is. Even before Jordan King made a video about it, I knew how terrible of a GM Elton Brand was.
Oh, we all know. We all know. You
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
even a
like
freaking
that
video
was a
on
little
it. We all
So,
know.
okay, fine. So moving on from that, long story short, I think we should start moving on topics. Do we all
right.
agree?
More.
We all agree. We all agree that this series has basically gone to the Lakers.
I think it's fair
yeah,
to
which I
assume
think
that
is
at
Miami
this
will
point.
see you. Miami will see you again next year. Hopefully, maybe playing the Warriors this time. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Who knows?
Next up, what
All
are we
right,
doing?
so Joey,
Baseball.
last time I remember that it was you who opened up with this topic and you kind of flipped the script onto me. So I'm gonna reverse that this time. I'm gonna hand it over to you
Well,
to
since we're doing
start
ultimate,
us off with the MLB segment of this podcast.
yeah, I'm gonna have to politely decline because I don't know if we're doing a one per because I kind of want to introduce the hockey flips script. You know. So
All
if
right.
can I do hockey too, or am I just gonna get this?
I feel like we should ask Sammy for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I'll flip the script and give it to Sammy. You want to talk about any series or anything in general, Sammy?
All right, fine. I'll get back on.
Yeah, what do you like that, Josh?
I'm going to take the same route.
I'm happy with the result.
All right, great. Go ahead, Sam.
I'm going to take the same route we took last time. I'm going to take, in our last subject, and review what we said for each of our brackets.
Also,
So,
can you pull up the graphic of the bracket just so?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, thanks.
As we speak, actually, we have a couple games going on. We've got the Yankees, and we've got the Yankees, and we got the Padres. Not in the same game, but the Yankees game and the Padres game. So here is.
No, share the screen of the
bracket. I gotta pull it up first.
Nope. I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move.
Okay.
It didn't work. It really didn't work.
I don't give a crap if it works.
Share
Take
screen.
that, internet.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So this is what we have at the moment. We have I'm
just going to give you guys a quick piece of info regarding the games right now also. The Yankees game started earlier. I think it was at 7:00.
Yep.
That game is now in the 6th inning, and it's now 8-2 Tampa with 1 out.
Okay.
Just a quick update.
So my prediction.
Wait, hold on. He had to say the scores, so I got to hear about the Padres.
Oh yeah, it's 1-0.
I don't think they started.
No, they started. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 in the middle of the 2nd inning to the Padres.
Be consistent, Josh. Don't just half-ass it. Come on.
So
we are the
It started at like 10:00 last night, so I didn't think it'd be any different this time around. But I guess I was proven wrong by Mr. Merzel here. So
from my predictions.
Wait, but
two right.
Sammy, quick thing. Wait, you said it's San Diego 1-0?
San Diego 1-0.
Tatis?
1 second.
I just saw it.
No, Myers.
Whoa.
Will Myers, RBI double.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Sammy. Yeah.
I said the Cardinals in this one. Clearly not right. I said the Brewers in this one. Very much not right. And I got everything right on this side.
Wait,
Except these guys.
I was about to say.
Except these motherfuckers right here.
Oh, Sammy, remember when you thought you were going to see a sweep? I remember that.
I did.
That's a good.
Oh, there was a sweep. There was a reverse fashion.
Deep down, I was a little nervous, but I had a feeling it would happen. Honestly, I had a feeling it was gonna happen. One way or another, the White Sox are gonna find a way to screw it up, and lo and behold, they did. And going back to what I said before, you know what screwed them over?
What?
Their pitching.
Yep.
The pitching staff
Up 4-0.
screwed them all up.
4-0. I'll never forget it. Up 4-0.
Hey, they're
I
the only
already
people that blew a lead.
see. You're better than me
Miami.
because I already forgot it.
Miami also blew a lead like 2 days ago. So like
They also did blow a lead.
the big one.
So if we're moving on from this, I'm
So you're
gonna
making predictions.
I'm changing my predictions.
Okay. What did you say last time? Is it different?
It is very different.
So you had the
somewhat different.
You had the Rays and the Astros.
No, I had the Rays. I had the Rays and the White Sox actually.
Oh shit, you're right.
But so now it's gonna be the A's.
Oh, how the
The Rays and the A's.
The Rays and the A's.
Matchup, rematch.
As for this series, I don't.
Ooh.
That's a big fat question mark for me. And I think the Marlins are going to lose their first playoff series.
Oh.
I don't see how they are going to have any answers for the Braves, honestly.
Okay. And then you want to keep going? So you have Braves, Dodgers, Rays, A's.
Then the Rays stay in the AL for the World Series. And the winner of this series will move on.
Come on, is Dave Roberts coming in or not? What's going on?
The winner of this series.
Well, what about playoff Kershaw?
We'll move on to the finals.
What about playoff Dave Roberts?
To the World Series. I was gonna say playoff Kershaw. He pitched 8 innings in that.
Okay, he always has
second
that
game.
one first great game, and then we all know what happens after that.
I guess.
Can we be realistic? It's not me hating on him as like a postseason pitcher for his reputation. It's just like I want the guy to be good. I almost wish he had won those back-to-back World Series in 2017 and 2018.
I mean, he was supposed
with his reputation in the postseason, like I know the cheating scandal, this and that, and with if you're gonna say it for even the Red Sox who pulled something very similar in 2018, but
last year
he had Game 5. I just want to say Game 5 in Houston that year, he had that game. He was up 4-1 late, not really late. I think. It was
that's all. That one was all him.
Yeah,
no, but also they lost.
Even if you're gonna argue the cheating scandal, it was a cookie. He made a terrible pitch and he deserved what he got, even with it.
No, it was a meatball. No, but it's funny. They lost Game 7 at home, so they lost it all by themselves. Honestly, but also last year they didn't play any cheaters. They played the Nats. They lost fair and square. That's it. They just choked it away.
Okay, so my final prediction is Tampa Bay, and my World Series prediction is Tampa Bay, and whoever wins this series right here. Whoever wins this series.
Win. You didn't.
I don't. I'm gonna take the Rays.
What?
I'm gonna take.
I feel like I only remember hearing this because I think he had Chicago going all the way last time.
I did not.
No, wait. You didn't say who wins LA and.
I don't know. I don't know. No, I had the Rays.
So stupid. You're I don't. Whoever wins this. Oh, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just.
All I'm saying is that the Braves are not gonna make it.
Damn.
So. And Tampa Bay was always always my winner, but I had the White Sox facing them in the ALCS. What the hell is wrong with me?
So
let's talk about I
want Josh, do you want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like can't be left out.
Exactly.
From either of us.
Right. So go ahead and I'll go.
All right. So, Sammy, what in God's name are you doing right now?
I see a timer that says 9 minutes and 41 seconds.
Right. So how'd you fix it last time?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. I promise you added time.
I
Well,
did not add
now it
time.
looks like you drew all over a bunch of random numbers and
Okay, hold on.
Okay, don't worry. You have 9
I
minutes.
can fix this.
You.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, who always said that in the TV shows? I could fix this. Was it Arwen from Sweet Life?
No, it was you're thinking of Fix It Felix.
Yes. Wait, that's not Handy Manny, right?
No.
No,
Okay.
buddy.
No, but they're like the same person. They're both like small people with hammers. Whatever. Anyway, so what was Josh, you want to go?
Yeah, so even though I don't have it in front of me,
I know, just try your best. That means
I do remember the teams that I put. I had before the season even began. I remember saying this that I said the Rays were going to win it all. They're built for a season like this, short, always hot down the stretch. This early in the season, and this early in the season would still be about in a regular season at least they'd still be there. But right now in the postseason, that surge is still carrying them. And by no means do I think they're just riding momentum right now. I think they are, in my opinion, the team that plays the smartest baseball here. By no means the most talented, and obviously definitely not the richest. They're on one of the lowest payrolls in baseball, if not the lowest. But I did have them winning all the way, so that's the final result I have. But in terms of who I had them beating, I had them sweeping the Blue Jays in the play-in round or the wild card round, and I had them beating the Yankees in 4 games. I don't remember if I specified that last time. And then after that, I had them taking on San Diego. Sorry, I had them taking on Cincinnati. But since Cincinnati's been eliminated, I'm going to have to change that to San Diego. I do think as well the Marlins are actually going to come back from that 2-0 series deficit and pull it out against the Braves just because of their history. I feel like it's not something they want to let slip away like that. And I believe I also had Oakland beating Chicago, but I had Minnesota beating Houston before those things happened. And with that being said, obviously Minnesota has lost 18 straight postseason games now, dating back to dating back to the first decade since the year 2000 began. And Oakland, I do not think as of now is going to beat Houston. I had Rays Twins in the ALCS originally. If I have to change that now, I think Oakland, at least after we had solidified the matchup of Houston Oakland, I thought Oakland was going to win because of that record they put up against the Astros this past year. I believe it was 7-3. Similar to the Yankees Rays, the Rays were one-sided in victories in that season series. They were 8-2 against them, so one more win. But I still thought that Houston was going to lose originally once the series had begun, and then they proceeded to play like the real players that they have. And Bregman went off in game 1. Springer had a great game. And defensively, they were pretty good as well after the first couple innings, having allowed 4 or 5 runs. They locked it down. I do think that the Padres are going to still win that series against LA. Game 2 is in progress right now. If I remember correctly, Sammy said that they're winning. I think we'll get San Diego, Miami, and San Diego is going to win that series, going to the World Series. But I don't think that they are going to really, quite honestly, have a shot against the Rays. As interesting a team and as electric a team they've been this season.
Okay, Josh. And
So I'm still sticking with Tampa.
Yeah, but
I do have to change my pick to San Diego, going all the way now to the World Series, representing the NL, since Cincinnati got swept.
Right, so I changed my pick too because I had the Reds in the winning the NLCS, like the whole thing, the pennant. So that was wrong. I got Miami right. I thought St. Louis was gonna win because of experience. Got that stuff wrong. I still thought LA was gonna win. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to change my pick on the West quickly. So I want to believe Miami, but it's not even tied. Like they've already lost. They already blew a big lead in game 1. So like, yeah, Atlanta's closing this out tomorrow. They're going to be in the ALCS. And between LA and San Diego, it's actually a toughie. I'm not going to lie. I know they're I know like LA has a powerful offense. I don't know why. I feel like San Diego is going to somehow come back and close it out. Like, I don't know how, but yeah, I think it's going to be San Diego versus Atlanta in the NLCS. And then I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but I don't know why the A's are not beating the Astros, and I'm really mad about it. I don't know why. I'm really mad about it. Houston's going to go to their like fourth ALCS in the last, like third ALCS in the last 4 years, and I'm just really pissed.
It's going to be 4 in a row for them.
No.
You're thinking of the World Series.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 4. It's so stupid. They don't deserve these schmucks do not deserve anything.
Boy.
Anyway, like even most of their fans are like normal fans like agree like they don't deserve it. Like anyway, and also like it breaks my heart, but like the Rays are gonna advance just because like we're really depleted on the pitching, man. We have big guys out: Paxton, Severino, Herman, and Canely. If they were in, it'd be a very different story. But we're gonna lose the series, sadly. We're gonna have the Rays versus the Astros, and by God, I hope the Rays kick the Astros' ass because
gonna get a rematch of last year's wild card matchup.
Yeah, and this time,
not wild card, division.
ALDS.
It was ALDS, yeah. And this time, it ain't going all the way. They're gonna kick their ass. I hope G-Man Choi shoves a giant meatball up Arias or whatever his name is. They're starting outside Grant Key.
All right, that's very aggressive. I just want to point out
I'm pissed. Okay,
we are a little low on time, so I feel like we should move it on to our next segment.
Well, can we just find out if Sam's almost done? If Sam's
there's no way. There's
dude, you did it last time.
I didn't do shit.
Someone did.
I didn't touch a thing.
It must have been. It must have been like a freebie.
Very possibly.
Well, I'm gonna look it up because I don't know why no one else is.
I have been looking it up. If I had an answer, I would have given it to you.
Past 40 minutes of Zoom. According to Zoom, you have 2 options when your precious 40 minutes run out. Start a new meeting, right? There's two things. So hold on. Upgrade to Pro. No, you didn't upgrade to Pro. So I don't understand. That didn't happen. I don't understand. So you want to make this a 2-part recording? And we'll just continue on and do it. We'll see you in a few seconds.
Yep. So just to remind everybody else, due to meeting time restrictions, we're going to be stopping this episode. We're going to be making this sort of a part 1. The part 2 will cover the last 2 remaining sports. The last 2 sports being football and hockey. And football, we're going to be talking about in that order. We're going to be talking about Mahomes Monday night, Cowboys Browns, and Bill O'Brien. What's next? As well, and in hockey, of course, the draft, the winners and the losers. So
look forward to that, folks. In whenever the hell this is going to end, I'm a little confused right now because it says less.
All right, see you in a bit.
All right, hold on, don't leave. Maybe you were missing something.